This is Mladen Marinovic, coming from Split, University of Split, Faculty of Kinesiology, and his topic will be on personality traits as a prerequisite for proper access to young rovers. Mladen, when you are ready, you can start with your presentation.
Sorry, just a moment. Somehow I lost communication at this moment. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, but now I don't have.
Also, we see your presentation.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, 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 we see.
Okay. Hi to everyone. To all young colleagues, since I'm already retired 2 years, but still I'm active in the rowing sport as a coach and normally trying to follow some experience. So I would like to share a short experience with you.
Thanks.
So as a personality traits as a prerequisite for proper access to young rowers. My experience told me that we have a good benefit from the sport, not only rowing or all the sport, and also we can have a bad benefit, if you can say that, depending how much we know our athletes to deal with them. So there is some background in this situation. The role of psychological characteristics is relevant not only due to its direct impact on athlete performance, e.g. coping with or choking under stress, but also as a mediator between the athlete's physical, technical, and tactical skills and his or her performance in competition, whether positively or negatively. Extraversion and neuroticism were identified as correlates of physical activity. There is a positive direct relation between extroversion and happiness, and negative direct relation between neuroticism, psychoticism with happiness. And current evidence suggests that depression is linked to traits such as neuroticism, negative emotionality, extraversion, positive emotionality, and consciousness. So the purpose of this study was that authors emphasized the characteristics of mental well-being, for which it is essential to know the psychological characteristic of the participants in sport, especially at this moment in the rowing sport. So, last 25 years, I'm dealing with rowing club Neptune Dubrovnik, and we are last year's pretty successful. So in these 25 years, it's a small club. I collected 63 rowers, and beside all other testing procedures, we performed 3 questionnaires: the General Achievement Motivation Questionnaire, the Sport Achievement Motivation Questionnaire, and the Isaac Personality Traits Questionnaire. So the General Achievement Motivation Questionnaire was made by Havelka and Lazarevic, and this test is adapted version of Hellman test of achievement motive. So with this test, we got general achievement motivation, and in all situations of achievement, we have emotional reaction, which can be positive, engagement, or negative emotional reactions. Similar to that, they construct a sport achievement motivation questionnaire, which is also construct of measurement of sport achievement motive, and positive and negative emotional reaction in situation of achievement. And the third test is well-known Isaac personality questionnaire, which follow extroversion, introversion, neuroticism, and psychoticism as a personality trait, as well as the simulation or life scale. Results that we got is presented descriptive statistic in this table 1. So if we follow all this data, we can see that there is a large range between all of them. So it means that we have different individual characteristics of our rovers. Correlating motivation and personality traits, we got this table too, so that we can see that motivation has significant correlation with extraversion and neuroticism. And what is very important, not strength of motivation, but negative emotional reaction in situation of achievement, as well general, as well the sport achievement. So we try to see what is the relationship between extraversion and neuroticism, which is, according to a lot of researchers, responsible for a lot of behavior of our athletes. So we can see this spread with a lot of entities. And when we divide them according to extraversion, which is approximately 14, this is for 2 points higher than general extraversion in Croatian population, and neuroticism at a level of 10 points. So we got a 4 quadrant, and according to Galen, Kant, Wundt, Schem, we got 4 types of personality, or so we got 15 introverted stable person or phlegmatic, 17 extroverted stable or sanguine, 15 extroverted neurotic or choleric, and 16 introverted neurotic or melancholic person. According to Isaac, if we deal with from the mean value, if we got minus and plus 1 standard deviation, we can say that these members are okay, pretty the same. But it is very important how to deal with this other personality. Yeah, this part is okay because they are emotional stable persons. But we have problem, and I was dealing with 2 very high level athletes who were very motivated and high extroverted, but also with the high neuroticism. We never achieved, for example, Olympic medal, even we won some medals on world championships and European championships. The special problem is with this part of the sample. Those are neurotic introverted persons, and it is very important how to deal with them, how to communicate, because we cannot communicate on the same aspect with everybody. So as well as we make a program or dosation of physical aspect of training load, we also have obligation to deal with the psychological aspect as well. So what we can say, according to these results, the results point to a large dispersion of personality factor in the sample of young rovers. We must conclude that every child has the right to have a positive effect on the sport in order to create physical fitness and mental well-being. And this is a big problem because usually we don't have, or better to say, coaches, especially with the very young athletes, don't have a lot of information about that persons. That is why it is very important for those who manage the sporting process to have valid information on the physical and psychological status of the individual. And therefore, it is suggested that psychologists and coaches cooperate more specifically in order to properly treat each participant in sporting activity. That would be all for now.
Thank you, Professor. You revealed some interesting data about psychological profiles in rowing. I totally agree with you that health and well-being should be one of the most important factors for participating in sport. However, do you have some data that can show us how these profiles that you show us are related to sport success or coping with training loads in rowing?
Look, I'm using this data and this test for a very long time. Since I was head coach of Croatian national rowing team in 2 mandates, as well as Croatian kayak canoe flat water team, working with the best Croatian sailors and world successful sailors for 20 years, and also with karate national team. So I think I have a pretty lot of data, and I was in a situation to compare psychological as well as physiological aspects in different sports. And this knowledge of data or personality type of someone helped me also in situation with how to say with a training modality, because typical extrovert and typical introvert they don't like to train on the same way. Even in the rowing sport, we know that it is a typically team sport, especially in the 8. So they must to do the same activity in the same time. But nevertheless, we can treat them in different way during the year.
Thank you, Professor.